Welcome to my world. Come on in. My name is Colleen Frost, and this is Tuesdays, and it is health, wellness, and treats. And you are in for a treat tonight. One day a week, we need to have a day for our health and our wellness and our treats. And today I'm back in Studio C. It is a place where it is my personal retreat for writing. And I love it here. It is my sanctuary where I go when I need to be, where I love to write. And today it was a Robianne day. And I know that you have not met her yet. She's one of my very special people, and she was my person for years and years. And she's definitely a Club 33, a diamond, and a very solid rock in my life. And she passed away, I believe it was November 22nd, 2019. So I won't be talking too deeply on her tonight, because I think you don't get over people, especially when they're your person. But she is in my book. I'm an author, and she was and is a very present person in my life. But today was a Robianne day. As you know, I was on a vacation, and when I got home, I had to just sit still. But the problem is when you sit and sit and sit, for a person like me, that can't happen. So then last night, I realized that was not good for my body. So I remember with Pete, anyway, we'll talk about this. My health has been a constant reminder of a blessing of being able to be here with you each night, especially. So today I have been frozen, a definite frozen. It's a side effect that I've had from radiation, a lingering, longing reminder of why I am doing what I'm doing. And that is celebrating history and creating more. You know, this internet's a very busy place. Thank you for sitting still a while. And make these 7 days with me your coach, a traveler's rest. Today I am your coach, your head coach, and I am on a mission, celebrating history and creating more. This is going to be something good, I promise. You know, I want to tell you that today was a Robianne kind of day. And I just want to tell you about this quote that I put in down below. You know, when knowledge comes in the door, fear and superstition fly out the window. That's a very famous quote by a very famous woman who entered my life about almost 19 years ago. Her name was Mary Roberts Reinhardt. She's a very important playwright from New York. And I'll be talking about her many times, and she's also in my book. She's a playwright, and she bought an island in Florida many years ago. And so today, while frozen, that's where my Robianne and I went. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. But my Robianne is my person. She's my cousin and my very special health and wellness friend, because she was so filled with knowledge that when I would have something go wrong, she was my treat, my health and wellness person, but she was the treat. To be in my day, and any day I needed her, was today. And all I had to do is think of her in my mind, and there she was. So I just carried her. And you know, when you have a cancer gig and you need your Robianne, she was my go-to person. She was my gym buddy. When we had a special side effect day where we didn't want our family to see us amble around the house or walk like I've had to walk all day and hardly move with our ailments. And when you are a caretaker of somebody who's a lot worse off than I am, you just have to keep going. There's no rest or, whatever I had to do to try to move my arm and things. I could not go get help or call my Pete. I just had to keep working with my dad, and I had my D here to help, thank God. But, I just had to keep going, and I couldn't sit and, do the ache and moan with him. I had to keep him cheery all day, and, we had a good day. But it's not always easy. So tonight I'm up here hiding out with this little heating pad, but I didn't want to lurk around the house with ailment looking things. So, but my Robianne, I could have just called her up like we used to do. Hey, Robianne, you want to go to the pack? And she knew that was our bat signal. And might I mention bat? Because Mary Roberts Rinehart, she was the founder of Batman. More on that later. Anyway, we didn't even have to get into the details of this or that or the other thing. We just knew that there was something here or there. But we knew we needed one thing, and that was water. We needed to float in the deep end. And I don't go in the deep end unless I'm in this. So today in my mind, I went to Florida with Robianne. So as I'm sitting in my power recliner with Dad, I took my Robianne with me. I called in my Mary Roberts Rinehart, and I went to the island that is still in pristine, historic preservation mode and owned by this couple. And I won't get into it tonight, but I tell you, you have to look at Cabbage Key. And I swear it is named after my cabbage rose, which in my mind's eye, I just pictured roses all over this Cabbage Key. And I believe Julia Roberts has stayed there. So anyway, it's just the most romantic place in my mind. And Robianne and I were there today. So today I went and took my Robianne with me, and I will just tell you that it is my dearest memory, and I miss Robianne more than you will ever know. Sometimes these cancer losses are just, so hard to take. She was the light of our world, and she will burn bright in mine the rest of my life. So today we swam, and I baked in the sun with her, and I almost became unfrozen with my Robianne. It was so healing. Radiation damage from chemo should go away. But because I had an extreme cell, I was the guinea pig. And so I had the worst radiation damage, I guess, Fargo had ever seen. Lucky me. So mine is unending. And when I met my Pete, I was the proxy that walked behind my son and him as they visited. And I would ask him a few things here and there, told him about my problem with not being able to raise my arm up. And I can raise it up and everything. It just, tonight now I can. I'm fine with raising it up. But when I met him, I could not raise it up at all. And he gave me exercises, how to climb the wall and so forth. And he got me strong enough. And then I had a journey with him. So I'm now, I'm able to pull myself up on a bar and so forth. So I'm fine, but just a little frozen tonight, and I'll be back at the gym this week. You mark my words. So I'm fine. Just a little frozen, but it still goes up. I'm working on it in my chair. But I am a little stricken today. But these were the days I called my Robianne, and off to the pack we would go to the deep end. And here is why, people. If you are frozen, or if you have these side effects, and if you can support these local community pools, and like our pack wants to build one of these therapeutic pools, and if I had the energy, I would join these committees or whatever these things are that people want you to join. If you are able-bodied, join these things. Get us people these therapeutic pools, because we could sure use them. Well, anyway, our pack has this deep end. And Robianne and I swear, we would live in that thing, because when you are weightless, even though we need the weight training, But there are days that our bodies just want to float in the deep end. So please keep us in mind. It just feels so good to float weightless. I don't think you have any idea for those of us who have had a number of years of this chemo. So being here with all of you is so wonderfully normal. Thank you for being here. I love having you to look forward to. Celebrating history and creating more is my life's work. Mary Roberts Reinhardt was a gift that day. My twin brother found those posters underneath our Opera House stage, and I hope to tell you more about that story. I will spend my days in her resort someday and in my mind's eye today. Robianne and I dreamed of days to travel together. We must have planned 100 trips. I so loved our time in the pool. She was the best person to have on frozen days. Other days when we didn't want you to know the side effects of fighting to live through the battle of cancer. She was on a mission in remission. And those are the days that she appeared strong to all of you. And on those days that we had to hide out, she was my person. And I'm so proud to call her my friend. And I am going to shine light on her for the rest of my life. And for all of you out there that are cancer survivors or fighters that are in remission, my hat goes off to you. And I hope you have a person like a Robianne. And if you have lost your Robiannes, I know you keep them dancing in your head. And so anyway, I wanted to share that today was my Robianne day. And I went to Florida with her today. And I wrote her a special letter for my trunk, my Robianne trunk. And I will get out of this frozen state, and I will find a way back to the pool. And I will get to Pete by the end of the week because I need him. But I sure enjoyed having my Robianne day. And if you are so lucky to ever have gone over to her Facebook page, read up on that woman because she is the light of my life in my mind's eye and in my heart and soul. And today I needed her knowledge because she was filled with all the solutions, and all my fears would go away. And we would say, are we okay now? We'd go in and we'd go back to our families and they wouldn't even know just how side affected we were that day. Oh God, we loved our families. Anyway, thank you for listening on my frozen day, and I will share more of my Robianne. Becoming a preservationist is my life's passion. I am a coach, a head coach, building a digital home on how to live on purpose 7 days a week. So find your rocks and grab your ball and build a team. Look for a feather. Hope is all around. So jump, bounce, and fly with me 7 days a week on purpose. I teach it, preach it, and repeat it with balance. Like, share, and remember that Tuesdays are for those who dare. Be avant-garde, be rare, and remember me and my Robianne. Sincerely, Colleen. Number 33.